According to detectives, the alleged abuse was happening over the course of several months here at this daycare, and they say it was first brought to their attention by an employee, leading to the arrest of a co-worker. 33-year-old Carla Gonzalez was booked into the Marion County Jail on 8 counts of child abuse and a charge of resisting arrest without violence. She was released on $20,000 bond earlier this morning. Body camera video from Monday shows Gonzalez pulling away from officers as they put her in handcuffs. According to Ocala police, there were several allegations of physical harm to 6 infants at the All Stars Learning Academy between March and July. Detectives say the victims were between 4 and 9 months old, and the alleged mistreatment included rough handling, force feeding, violent shaking, and near suffocation. According to police, a video recording from an employee shows one of the cases of abuse. Investigators also say the incidents were initially reported to supervisors, but no appropriate action was taken.
I would never think that this would happen. This is like a great place to take. My son's been going here for over a year, and nothing like this has happened before.
And as that is being investigated, we're told the Department of Children and Families has been informed about all of this and are requiring remedial training for all of the staff here at this daycare. Meanwhile, anyone who has further information or knows of similar cases of abuse is urged to call police. For now, reporting in Ocala, Mark Lehman, News 6.
I'm here along Umbrella Tree Drive, where the ground is still very much saturated, and some puddles remain. Neighbors say it doesn't take a hurricane for streets to flood. Sometimes just a few hours of rain is enough to leave their yards and sidewalks underwater. In Florida Shore's Edgewater crews spent Tuesday afternoon deploying pumps and vacuum trucks to keep water from seeping into homes. Mayor Diesel Depew says the city's been aggressive in its approach to fixing the flooding.
We're being very proactive. We have a tremendous interim city manager. He's doing a great job. In the first 24 hours, he had 2 commercial trash pumps ordered. That's on standby right now in Queen Palm Drive. They were ready to use that if needed. He ordered a vac truck to be in our budgetary item this year. That's going to help tremendously here in the city of Edgewater. We had a vac truck save a home yesterday. Wow. Crews are working overtime on weekends, trying to get caught up for hurricane season, trying to dredge out those canals. That's never happened here before in the city of Edgewater.
For many, like longtime resident Michelle Hammond, who walks these streets every day, the standing water isn't just inconvenient, it's disheartening.
I'm having to walk in the street today because the sidewalks are flooded and trying to move in and out of traffic.
Here's a couple things that we've had going on here in the community. This was a vac truck actually saving a home here on Pine Tree Drive, the corner of Pine Tree and 26. And they were working very proactively. This is them clearing out a pipe and culvert and a ditch located on Willow Oak and 35th Street near the new Valco Road subdivision, which has had a lot of kinks that we've been working through.
Mayor Depew says the city is looking into state and federal funding to expand its infrastructure plans. But until then, residents here in Florida Shores are left dealing with the water and waiting for relief. I'm Angie Casava, your Volusia County community correspondent, News 6.
And then many locations saw some minor flooding, poorly drained areas. And again, this is just a really good reminder just to make sure that you're just cleaning out your gutters and also just cleaning out the drains when we're expecting heavy rain. So talking about heavy rain yesterday, here's a look at the preliminary numbers. The rainfall totals in a few locations. Out in Spruce Creek, picked up almost 6 inches of rainfall. Mims 5.03, DeLand 3.76, Port Orange almost 3 inches of rainfall, and Ocala 2.24. So many of us saw measurable rain across Central Florida due to Invest 93L, and we'll talk about what it's doing coming up in a little bit. But right now it is hot and humid. If you haven't stepped outside, we are in the upper 80s in many locations, feeling like the upper 90s. So 88 in Orlando, feeling like 97. Titusville, 91 degrees, feeling like 106. Daytona Beach, 86, feeling like 93. And Cocoa Beach, 87, feeling like 99. Now, I am tracking a few isolated showers, hit or miss across Central Florida, but many of us around this hour, we are pretty dry. It's just hot and humid and windy. Check out the wind gust here out of the southeast, picking up wind gust readings of 26 miles per hour in Cape Canaveral, 16 miles per hour in Daytona Beach and New Smyrna Beach, 18 miles per hour in Orlando, and 21 miles per hour in Melbourne and Cocoa Beach. Now, the winds will remain gusty as we go through today, and this is because of Invest 93L pulling those winds out of the southeast, keeping things windy across Central Florida. Now, rain chances will be moderate today, actually right where we need to be for this time of the season. So this is typical, staying up pretty dry, a few isolated showers through the 3 o'clock hour, and the showers and thunderstorm activity that's expected today after 4 will be sea breeze driven. So right along that boundary is where we'll find the scattered rain and embedded thunderstorms. I do think most of the shower and storm activity will wrap up in many locations around 7, but a few models are showing a few lingering showers and storms heading into tonight. Now, your temperatures going hour by hour, we're looking at those temperatures climbing into the lower 90s, but feeling like the triple digits, even staying hot and humid as we head into the early afternoon hours. So you know the deal. If you have any outdoor plans, make sure you are drinking water as you are doing anything outside. Now, forecast highs, inland spots, lower 90s, upper 80s along our coastline. And timing at the showers and storms, taking a look at your clouds and rain forecast, this particular model keeping things generally dry through the morning hours. Then later on this afternoon, picking up on a few isolated showers. And then around 9, a few isolated showers and storms are possible, mainly along our western zones over parts of Sumter, Lake, and Marion counties. Now, let's talk about the tropics. Only watching one area here. This area, still called Invest 93L, very unorganized. As of the latest update, National Hurricane Center has placed a 40% chance for possible tropical development as we go through the next 2 to 7 days. Just looking at it on satellite imagery, it doesn't look very impressive. It is very unorganized. There is a low-level circulation, but you could see most of the moisture is trying to keep up with that low-level circulation because it is getting sheared a little bit by strong westerly winds. Not an issue for us here across Central Florida, but it is going to keep things breezy as we go through today. So here's what I'm talking about. National Hurricane Center highlighted this area, indicated in orange for possible tropical development. Depending on how long that center of circulation hangs over the Gulf will depend if it turns into a tropical depression or not. Nonetheless, it will be a rainmaker for parts of the northeastern Gulf Coast and especially parts of southeast Louisiana, where there is a flash flooding risk for those areas as we go through the next several days. So we'll continue to watch it. As I mentioned before, not a imminent threat for Central Florida, but if you have family, if you have friends living out over parts of Louisiana, Alabama, even Mississippi, they're expecting a whole lot of rain as we go through the rest of the work week. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 91 today, 60% chance for rain, 92 tomorrow, also 60% chance, and then rain chance is a little bit lower around that 40% mark heading into the weekend, but our temperatures will be quite hot in the middle 90s, Stephanie.
Michelle Morgan there for us. Thank you so much. We did have some technical difficulties earlier, but we're back and ready to continue with News 6 Extra right after this break. One community is fed up with flooding, and the community is running out of time to fix it. We have that story coming up in just a couple minutes. Rodriguez. In just a few hours, city leaders in Apopka are set to tackle flooding issues at two troubled lakes. They're hoping to lower the water levels at Border Lake and Clearwater Lake, but neighbors say that what's being done is still not enough. I went out there and spoke to residents about the ongoing issue. The city of Apopka is trying to bring down the levels of Border Lake with pumps like this one in the neighborhood. It's a tactic they came up with after Hurricane Milton, but they need more money to keep the process going.
All of a sudden they want to put the pump in it and take the water out. What about the last 15 years that nobody counted the water? So it's just disheartening. It's just disheartening.
Since late June, the city of Apopka has been pumping excess water from Border Lake elsewhere to help reduce flooding. According to a city staff report, reductions are progressing as expected. And if they can draw down the levels enough, staff says it should help everyone affected by flooding near 436 and Piedmont-Wekiva Road. But some residents,
And the flooding is just ridiculous. They don't maintain nor upkeep the lake.
like Francine Uva, feel it's not doing enough.
I mean, we went to Puerto Rico for 10 days, and that thing has been running since a week before we went away, and it looks the same to me.
Tonight, city staff will give an update on the progress and ask for more money from the city's stormwater fund because they've run out of money needed to rent the pumps until August 31st.
I don't think the pumping in the lake is working for us, but we're on a hill. Like she said, while the other people are connected, they're flat. But everybody around here, where that pump is coming at it, is on a damn hill. So for me, it's the same way it was when I went to Puerto Rico 10 days ago.
Now, we did mention Clearwater Lake. That's another lake they'll be discussing. That's about 20 minutes from Border Lake there. It's another problem spot for flooding. So with that one, they'll be looking at options for long-term solutions there, which could include charging the homeowners association there for converting the lake's excess water into reclaimed water for lawn irrigation. So conversations happening there trying to reduce flooding in both of those lakes. Let's turn now to a crazy story, a terrorism threat at Walt Disneyland decades ago. Now, back in 1995, a frightening videotape was mailed to Disneyland over in California. Now, coincidentally, News 6 investigator Mike DeForest happened to be working at Disneyland that very day while he was still a college student, and he breaks down the story, and it's an interesting one.
More than 30 years ago, in 1995, a VHS cassette similar to this one arrived at a Disney theme park. A Disney employee popped it in a VCR and was confronted with these chilling images. The video shows a person with rubber gloves picking up mysterious items wrapped in foil and stored in a freezer. Using tongs, the person removes glass jars from a pot that possibly contains some sort of chemicals. On the bottom of the screen appear the words nerve gas and dead guest. That videotape, sent to Disneyland in California, grabbed the attention of the President of the United States.
We had a tip of a possible terrorist incident.
I remember that weekend quite well. That's because at the time, I happened to be working at Disneyland.
Welcome aboard the world-famous Jungle Cruise.
Back in the 1990s, while I was studying broadcast journalism at the University of Southern California, I also worked part-time at the happiest place on earth. 3 decades after that secret government response at Disneyland, I've obtained these internal FBI records that reveal never-before-disclosed details about that terrorist threat. At the same time, I've confirmed that a copy of that videotape wound up at this thrift store. Unbelievably, it was discovered here by this YouTuber.
Oh, it doesn't say FBI on it, but it just has all those weird numbers.
I explain how this evidence in an FBI terrorism investigation wound up at a thrift store, and I share never-before-seen details about the theme park threat. You can watch the full story right now on our website, clickorlando.com. Mike DeForest, News 6.
That's all we have for you right now. Of course, we always break news here on clickorlando.com, and you can watch us on our streaming app as well. And you can catch our next newscast today at 4 o'clock. Have a great day.